If you haven't seen Ja Morant this season or haven't seen him play at all, what you need to do is turn on your television and watch this man go. Ja Morant is now an NBA All-Star after 3 years of being in the NBA. Not only is he now an All-Star, but he is the second Grizzlies player to be named an All-Star starter, the first guard in Grizzlies history to appear in the game, and the youngest Grizzlies player to compete in the event at 22 years old. And this season is definitely his breakout season for sure, in an NBA that's jam-packed with lots of talented guards, the likes of Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Trae Young, etc. But there's something about Ja Morant that is extremely scary. He is Allen Iverson all over again. If you tell me with a straight face that this man doesn't remind you a lot of Allen Iverson, you're flat out delusional. The shiftiness, the speed, the athleticism, and the confidence that Allen Iverson played with is all in Ja Morant. Ja Morant is a lot taller than Allen Iverson, but he is still a small guard in the NBA, and their physical dimensions are quite similar in terms of how they're built, wiry and skinny. And Ja Morant, like Allen Iverson, is wasting no time getting used to the NBA. Currently for Ja Morant, this season is a far better season than his predecessors. He's averaging 26.3 points, 6.9 assists, 5.9 rebounds on 48% shooting from the field and 34% shooting from three, while also being 10th in the NBA in PER with a 24.45 rating. And these are noticeable improvements from years prior. In the month of January, Ja Morant led his team to an 11-game win streak and managed to win back-to-back Player of the Weeks. In the span of December to January till now, Ja Morant has had a lot of light shine on him and what he's been doing for the past couple months. And to many people, he has taken over the mantle of being the most exciting player in the NBA, showing superior athleticism, being one of the smaller guards in his respective position, and staying consistent with highlight reel activities on the court. Now, it's very obvious that Ja Morant put in the work to improve his game, and he improved his game greatly in a very short amount of time. There have been very few players, guards to be more specific, that have had a career trajectory that Ja Morant looks like he is going to have. His career and development is getting off to a fast start. Players like D-Wade, Derrick Rose, and Allen Iverson, of course, are amongst very few guards who made leaps to superstar status in their third seasons, each winning a playoff series in year 3. Will that be Ja Morant is the question. And in terms of what he is doing on the court, he is just unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable. As a 6'3" guard, he is in the top 10 of league leaders in points in the paint. And look where he ranks. There are no other guards in that top 10. He is in the company of a bunch of big men. And in crunch time, forget about it. Ja Morant's improved shooting has made him a better clutch scorer, a skill that takes confidence and poise to execute. He averages 4.8 points per game in the last 5 minutes when the score is within 5 or fewer points. He is second behind fellow MVP candidate Joel Embiid. And yes, I am calling Ja Morant an MVP candidate. At this point in the season and what he has done thus far, it is well deserved for him to be considered as an MVP candidate. His team is one of the youngest teams in the Western Conference, and currently they are the 3rd seed. And Ja's popularity is growing rapidly. It's definitely not going unnoticed because on January 14th, ESPN decided to remove a scheduled game to broadcast the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Dallas Mavericks, which ESPN is not dumb. They know that this was an intriguing matchup between two young phenoms in Luka Doncic and Ja Morant. Must-see TV. But back on topic, Ja Morant is a killer, in the words of the great Allen Iverson himself. And he fears no one on the court, and he goes at your best player. He wants to prove that he is not going anywhere.
He is going at your star. He will not allow, right now, when you watch the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja is on the floor, he will not allow the so-called superstar that's coming in the building to be better than Ja Morant. And that is AI energy. If we think back, look, I followed AI. You know AI as well as anybody, but I followed AI when he was at Georgetown. And when he would get into the middle of the lane, you just could not believe he was finna yoke on a 7-footer. You did not think that he had that type of mentality. We talked about physicality of the game with the Warriors and the Bulls. Ja never shies away from going to the rack against anybody.
Ja Morant is another example of a little man with a tremendous heart. And for all those 90s and 2000s babies and whoever else loved Allen Iverson, you'll love Ja Morant as well. And like Swagoo said, he doesn't shy away from the big moments. He's had his fair share of big moments, especially when he eliminated Golden State and Steph Curry last year out of playoff contention, making a name for himself that already rung bells. Playing with such a chip on his shoulder, it's hard not to look at him and look at AI and say, there's something you could compare there. Look at them, they look like they can be related. But not only do they favor each other, their stats from their third season also favor each other thus far. At this point in this third season campaign, Ja Morant averages more assists than AI did. He's more efficient from the field and more efficient from three-point range as well as the free throw line. And his plus minus is slightly better thus far. I know I've said thus far 1,000 times, but it is important that I do say that because Ja has not completed his season yet. And the major difference between their stats is obviously the field goal percentage and of course the assists. But other than that, it's not really that far off. Ja Morant at this point in his career in his third season is more efficient than AI was in his third season. He averages just as much points as him and averages more assists. And he is far less selfless than AI. Please, please, please don't slander me for this video. I am not saying Ja Morant is better than Allen Iverson or comparing him in a light that makes him look better than Allen Iverson. I am just recognizing his potential and what he is doing thus far in his third season and explaining why I feel he reminds me of the great Allen Iverson. But in the comment section, you guys let me know your thoughts. Do you think Ja Morant is a carbon copy of the great Allen Iverson or someone else? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and thank you for watching.